Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you now Game 7 in the series between Spider and Gamania. We see Spider DS spawning as the blue Terran player over here on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Gamania Sen spawning as the red Zerg. Went through all of the videos, and I just realized that going into Game 4, there was actually a 2-to-1 lead for I believe it's Gamania, and then Spider came back, and now we are actually all tied up at 3 games apiece going into this best of 9 series. So the first team that wins 5 games will come out ahead, and who better to be one of your swing game matches than Sen. Sen, perhaps one of the more well-known players coming in from Taiwan. We are going to see some overlords now doing some scouting. This is obviously on Shakura's Plateau, a map that both of these players should be very, very familiar with. Now, I'm assuming that Sen is going to be going for a fast hatchery, perhaps a 15 or even a 16 hatchery, slight difference there. Meanwhile, DS looks like he's going to be going into, I would expect, a 1 Rax expand, as you cannot guarantee that you are going to be close by air. If it is close by airs, I would perhaps go for a faster refinery, but because it is not close by air, any Hellion Banshee harassment should easily be pushed back by Sen just because of the walking distance. Hatchery going to be coming down. It is going to be a 15 hatch coming in from Sen. There you go. Meanwhile, it is going to be that 1 Rax coming in from DS. And on a map like this, you can really split east versus west pretty well. Now, the last time I cast a game of Sen on Shakura's Plateau, I believe it was from the Machinima Realm Invitational earlier this year. If you guys haven't actually seen that game, Game 3 between Sen and Hasu was an absolute amazing game. You guys should definitely check that out, as an Overlord has positioned itself off over here and seen that it is not going to be close by air spawns. SCV now making its way down. It looks like it will be a 17 command center now coming in, already going to be established there in just a second. And now a SCV and a Marine going across the map. Nope, the Marine simply looking to see if there are any Overlords or any easy units to take down. Perhaps DS knows that an Overlord could be trying to fly in off over here, and if it does accidentally reveal itself to that Marine is going to try to shoot it down. So far, only 1 Marine has been trained. We are going into the double gas now for DS. It should be followed up by double barracks once more, and go into that standard Terran bio play with siege tanks, as now Zerglings have hatched in order to take down that scouting SCV. Now, I am a bit surprised that DS has not yet established a bunker or really gotten any more Marines. He needs more Marines to handle those early Zerglings, as there are already going to be 6 Zerglings running across the field. Now, with only 1 Marine there, those Marines are not going to be able to shoot it down, as a factory is now being established. More Marines are going to be added as the Marines are trying to shoot underneath this 1 Overlord. The Overlord is going to take a lot of damage, but I believe the Zerglings are just going to simply try to run up the wall here, and this could be very, very bad news. Are the supply depots going to go up in time? That is the question, as an SCV, beautiful micro by DS there to add some additional life to those units. You can see that the Marines are now trying to back off, trying to do a little bit of stutter step, and now we are going to see the raising of the supply depot. The Zerglings are not going to be able to break through this front door. Nope, perhaps they will be able to, as there are no Marines shooting back. 2 SCVs on each of these supply depots, and a beautiful job. Each of these SCVs are simply on auto repair. Double training of Marines. A Hellion could be added as well. Orbital command has been upgraded, and these SCVs losing some precious mining time as the game does continue. So far, Marines will, as soon as those Marines pop out, those Zerglings will back away. A Hellion does need to be added, and the Zerglings, perhaps knowing the timing and the training time on those Marines, decided not to stick around, as they would just take some real damage there. Those Zerglings, some of them were in the red, but natural regeneration going to have a bunch of full hit point Zerglings in a moment, as Sen now taking the opportunity. He is going into, I believe, 4 queen play, and I believe he might even go into 5 or 6 queen play, as there is a lot of creep tumors to be laid down. Shakura's Plateau, known as a very, very large map, and DS hoping to deal some damage with these Hellions. He's not going to be able to do very much though, but we see that DS is going heavy into mech. Blue Flame Hellion is being added. Unfortunately, there is no armory, meaning no level 1 weapons upgrade, meaning no two-shotting any drones, as the Hellions only deal 19 damage to drones. Now, the Queens are making their way out. Zerglings are still dancing back and forth. The Hellions perhaps going to try to control some of these creep tumors. Oh, way too much damage being dealt there, as one poor Zergling does go down in the center portion of the map. These 3 Queens, with 2 more Queens still being added, we are going to be going heavy into 6 Queen play. A creep tumor already making its way out across the map, and Sen is absolutely beautiful on these creep tumors, spreading creep almost to 50 or at least half of the map well before the 10-minute mark on the game. The Hellion trying to get some scouting here, but the Queens may be able to snipe one down. Oh, down to 10 hit points. 1 or 2 more darts, or 2 more darts would have been enough, but the Queen or the Hellions will be backing off here, as we now see a large number of Hellions, 6 Hellions running out across the map. There is a Zergling here. The Zergling is going to get taken down. Another Zergling almost getting taken down there. A little bit of targeting time as the Hellions are backing off again. Do they spot the Queens? Yes, they do spot the 3 Queens sitting in the center. And these Queens are now making their way in. The Queens are off creep. That is not good, as the Queens are now trying to make their way in. This is not good at all. The Zerglings are not simply just going to get torched now, and DS may get in a lot of damage. Are they going to be able to starburst down that Queen? The Queen looks like it is taking a lot of damage here. One Queen, oh, beautiful transfuses. And that wall will not fall. A wall of Queens. Meanwhile, Hellions trying to take down even more drones here. Some are getting taken down. Zerglings are getting taken down as well. DS is dealing a lot of damage, but only taking down 9 workers so far, as this heavy Queen play is really just handling all of these Hellions. All of these Queens now just pretty much battling it up. The Queens with a range of 5, the same targeting range as a Hellion. The Queens now trying to make their way up that ramp. Beautiful transfuses still. And they're pretty much like Goliaths that can heal each other. Very, very nicely done, as DS still needs to build up another command center and try to establish up his own third. Baneling's running through, taking them down. Beautiful play, as we see Hellions now at the back on the top left. At least they will be able to scout out this expansion here and know when that base has been taken. Sen still only running on 4 extractors, but he is transitioning into Mutalisks, and Mutalisks are very gas intensive. I'm curious as to how many Mutalisks he will be able to train up. He is starting to save that gas, droning up 11 drones right now, and sitting on a commanding 70 to 42 drone advantage. Sen is not going to let this let his economic advantage fall, as we now see an Overseer fly by. It does not have the movement speed upgrade, getting in all the scouting information he needs, as DS is now going into double factories and looking to go into that standard Terran bio. With that standard Terran bio, I expect to see Infestors come out, or perhaps even a tech to tier 3 Hive Tech. Oh, I should have been hiding that a long time ago. Hive Tech and Hive Tech and Broodlords. Sorry if you guys saw the timer. I'm usually more on top of that. Did I pop that up on accident? Maybe I controlled T'd and didn't even know it. Hellions still sitting in prime positions, wanting to get off some damage. We are going into a macro hatch here, and that macro hatch is going to make those Hellions try to come down a little bit more dangerous, as the Hellions dealing damage back against the Queens. The Queens so far, oh, the Baneling does get taken down, but traded for a Hellion, as the Hellions now trying to make their way down, getting off a little bit of a starburst damage. Does take down one more drone there, and ooh, a nice trade, I would say, for DS, trading 2 Banelings, or getting 2 Banelings with that 1 Hellion there, and not a good trade at all for Sen, but Sen has taken that out and started to establish a hatchery here at the 1 or 2 o'clock starting location. Mutalisks now making their way in. You can see that the Marines are making their way over as well. The Marines do not have combat shield yet, and that's got to be a huge mistake by DS. No combat shield means that those Mutalisks will be able to take down those Marines in 2 less shots until those Marines do get, until that Mutalist does get that level 1 weapons upgrade. Alright, let's take a look at what's going to happen over here. You can see more Marines being added. Combat shields still not being added as the Mutalisks are trying to test the front door. And I like how Sen is just posturing with these Mutalisks. It's not really looking to deal a lot of damage as he is now checking into tier 3 with that hive tech. The infestation pit is down, but I haven't seen a single infestor on the field just quite yet. Hellions now making their way forward, gonna clean up some easy units here, and now take a look around and take down all of these creep tumors. Drones doing some long distance mining as right now DS is looking to pull back a little bit more map control and making sure that there isn't a movement speed advantage for all the Zerg ground units as more Zerglings and Mutalisks are being added. So far, it looks like Sen has been utilizing only 3 units. It has been Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks with nothing else, no roaches, no infestors. But we'll see what his tier 3 tech choice will be with Hive about 80% done at this stage. 17 Banelings being added, 2-2 upgrades. The Hive tech could just be for 3-3 upgrades as the Banelings are rolling across the field. Are the siege tanks in position? Yes, they are, and we could perhaps be seeing a drop. The Hellions could be trying to do a drop over here on the north side as the siege tanks now engage. The Zerglings and the Banelings crashing in here and completely taking this down. Siege tanks up on the high ground trying to protect, but Sen doing a great job melting away Marines as the Banelings may simply crash into all of these Hellions here. The Banelings trading up against Hellions, more Banelings going up against Marines. The Marines are not going to stay alive for very much longer as Sen is in dominant control of this game with a 60 supply advantage. Alright. Zerglings and Banelings still making their way forward. Marines hiding off down over here. Combat shields still not researched. That could be a critical mistake by DS.
Oh my god.
As Honey apparently realizes the mistake there. As we now see some macro, or I don't know what this is. He's trying to contain his opponent with hatcheries. Sen pretty much showing that, hey, I have the additional resources. I don't even need to cancel. What are you gonna do? Adding insult as the Mutalisks now look to engage. Zergling's gonna clean this up very easily. The Medivacs gonna get taken down here. No, the Marines are gonna drop off, but so much damage. And yeah, those units are good as dead. As DS now looking to perhaps get some drops and get back into this game. Crackling upgrades ready. Level 2 ground upgrades. Level 3... level 3 ground upgrades. Level 2 air upgrades. As the Sea of Zerg now morphing into Banelings in the middle portion of the field. Medivacs will be spotted by Sen's Overlord. Overlord placement very, very strong. And you can already see the Mutalisks making their way in. Are they going to get there in time? It looks like the Marines are being forced to drop off. And it looks like one Medivac is down. A second Medivac is down. And Sen just completely dominating DS right now. Taking him down. Showing why he's going to be representing Taiwan in the WCS finals in Shanghai, China, later in, I believe it's November. Siege tanks, Medivacs, Marines, Combat Shield finally getting researched at about the 19-minute mark of this game. Those Marines going to be able to stand up to more of those Baneling blasts, taking a little bit more splash damage, and letting the Zerglings finish them off, as Sen may just try to suicide with these Mutalisks and get in some shots. He is getting up his second Spire, so it may be multiple upgrades here, as the Mutalisks now getting in a little bit of chain damage. The Marines are in position, and at this point, Sen could just free up supply and try to add in more units again. Sen now running up on 4 bases. He does have 2 macro hatches already down. Let's take a look at the larva count. 64 larvae. At any point, he could instantly train up just a handful of Zerglings so quickly. And not even a handful, 128 Zerglings. He could
Handfuls.
Yeah, 5 handfuls? All right. Apparently, Honey's trying to do color commentary behind me right now, as we see more Marines still wandering around. It sounds like Arya is excited for Sen. Sen looking forward, waiting for the next final battle, as I know many of you guys are. and I can't tell who she's cheering for, but she is definitely cheering for one player. Hopefully she is cheering for Sen. Otherwise, I believe she will be disappointed in DS at this point. Zerglings and Banelings now making their way across the field. It looks like the Banelings are going to be trying to push up, and here we go. The Banelings suiciding their way in, going to be splashing straight up onto all of these units here. Mutal is finishing off the Medivacs, and now taking down all the siege tanks that are up on the high ground. Down they go, and Sen has remaxed back up to 200 with 156 Zerglings being trained. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed Game 7 in this series, as now Gamma Bears is one game away from taking the TeSL Summer 2012 Finals. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.